Leadership, 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 success, success, success. Hi, my name is Jonathan Medina. I'm America's #1 youth motivator. I'm your teacher, I'm your coach, I'm your friend, and I'm your teammate. And today we're talking about leadership and success. Hey guys, it's National Gear Up Week. And so Miss Hudley has some amazing programs for you. I'm sure you're going to have an amazing, amazing week. It's September 21st through the 25th. Region 12 Gear Up. Let's go. Now, I want you to know that we have some amazing things planned for this video, but at the very, very end, if you'll see over to the side, it says that there's going to be a $100 prize. One winner is going to win $100. That means that someone's going to get $100, and you're also going to learn about my personal pandemic. You're going to learn about pride and being the greatest of all time, and you're also going to learn about my story from 9th grade. Now, who am I, you ask? Now, my name is Jonathan Medina, but normally I would have someone like Miss Hundley or someone else on staff over at your school, over at Whitney ISD. They would tell you about who I am, but just I'll have to do it myself today. They would normally say something like, spoken to over 1,000 schools at places such as Harvard, Texas A&M, and schools from New York City to Los Angeles. They might say something like, he's reached over 1 million students in live audiences, at camps, at conferences. They might say something like, he was a Georgetown University football player, Division I. 2-year starter, and I've been featured on ESPN, NBC, ABC, Fox, and TED. Best-selling author. That's a new one, and several of you will probably get a book of mine for free. And then also broke the record at McDonald's for the most Happy Meals eaten in one day. Go ahead and get in the comments. If you can comment and get close, I'm going to give one of you guys a special prize just for being close in the comments. Take a guess. Is it 1, 10, a million? Put a number in the comments and guess how many McDonald's Happy Meals I ate in one day. It's an unofficial record, so you can't Google it. You can't cheat. That's not going to happen. Now, one of my favorite quotes is, without a vision, the people perish. So before I was an author, before I was a speaker, before I had gone to college and been a football player, it all started with having a vision. And so one of my favorite quotes, like I said, is, without a vision, the people perish. I changed it up a little bit. I say, without a vision, the students lose. And so I say that because I want you to think about this year. There's a lot of people that have had a vision about what 2020 was going to be. In fact, it was the year of vision. And so people were saying 2020 vision, 2020 vision. And that's all people were talking about. And then everything happened. The pandemic hit. The economy went down. Schools closed down. Sports went down. And so people gave up on 2020. But I'm telling you that without a vision, the students lose. So we cannot lose our vision. We have to have pride, and we cannot lose our vision. We have to be the greatest, so we cannot lose our vision. And so what I need you to do is, I want you to think about your 2020 vision. What are the goals that you have for this year? What's the vision? What's the dream? What's the vision that you have for this year in 2020? And then I want you to think about what your dream is for 2024, 25, whatever it is, the year that you're graduating. I want you to think about the year that you graduate. I want you to think about what it's going to be like. I want you to imagine walking across the stage. I want you to imagine throwing your cap up in the air. I want you to imagine your family being so proud and so happy. I want you to imagine what you're going to do right after you graduate high school. Are you going to go straight into college? I have one of my best friends. He went to Texas A&M right as soon as graduation happened. He was already gone. I took a summer job, so I was trying to save money before going to college. And so there's all these different ways that you could do it. What is the vision that you have? How's it going to feel? What is it going to taste like? And then I want you to think about 2030. I want you to think beyond just college. I want you to think about your career path. I want you to think about what kind of job you have. What kind of people do you help? What kind of income are you making? What kind of car do you drive? What kind of family do you have? I want you to think about all the dreams, all the vision that you have. And I bring that up because for me, my vision, it all started when I was a Gear Up student myself. I didn't say it before, but I myself was a former Gear Up student. And so I want you to know that, let me fix this really quick. There we go. And so I used to be a Gear Up student myself. I was just like you. I remember taking my first college trip. We actually went to Texas A&M, and so it looks like those students, I believe they're at Baylor, but I'm not exactly sure. And so we went on a college trip. We drove all the way across the state. I remember it being like 5 hours. We were on a charter bus. We were all excited. We had our backpacks on in the bus. We were going to go on this little tour. And we stopped at Texas A&M. And I remember looking out the window. I remember seeing the pretty trees. I remember thinking to myself, wow, look at these buildings. I want to be going to class in a building like this someday. I want to live in some dorms that look just like this someday. Then we get to the Kyle Field, this big, huge football field. And I think to myself, I want to experience what it's like to be in a stadium like this and have all the excitement, all the pride that you have from the big school environment. And I just had this vision, and I just was not going to let it go. It didn't just happen where I went, but it actually just stayed in my mind. I'll never forget being there. I'll never forget what it felt like to just see it. Like, oh, there's kids. I wonder what they were thinking when they were my age. All the college kids that were walking around. And I want to bring up the GOAT. And so the GOAT stands for the greatest of all time. So I want you to think about your goals in a way where you're thinking like, how can I be the greatest of all time? Specifically, I'm not sure if you're a Michael Jordan or if you are a LeBron James guy or maybe someone else. I'm actually a big super LeBron James guy, so I'm anti the old Michael Jordan stuff. I think he was awesome, but for me, the GOAT is going to be LeBron James. If you want to get in the chat, if you want to troll me, if you want to be a hater, whatever, tell me that it was Michael Jordan or somebody else, go ahead. I have no problem getting in the chat. I'm sorry, in the comments with someone, but the reason I bring up LeBron James is because we know he has this goal of being the greatest of all time. And then one of the quotes that I have in my book is he says he breaks down his ultimate goal, then he breaks down like his team goal, season goal. And so he breaks it down from a really big goal. We know he wants to be the greatest of all time to his ultimate goal every year is to win the championship. And then his daily goal is that he wants to improve every single day and help his teammates improve. And so what I want you to do is I want you to think about that vision that you have, and then we're going to think about how can we improve every single day to get to that vision, because the ultimate goal is that you be college and career ready. The ultimate goal is that you have a successful academic life. The ultimate goal is that you have success in your career. But we need to practice all those things every single day to get better. That's why I absolutely love National Gear Up Week. So I'm sure you're going to have some awesome things. I'm sure Miss Hudley is going to have some awesome challenges, some programs, some events, some things for you to participate this week. And so what I want you to do is I want you to take some pride and treat every single thing that she has you do like it's your attempt to be the greatest of all time. That's you doing something every single day to become your personal greatest of all time. And so one of the quotes that she gave me was, life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. And I think that's super, super relevant for this upcoming year. There's a lot of people that are treating 2020 as if the pandemic, and so like, oh, it's over. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to wait until everything is over. But I'm telling you that the kids who are going to become the greatest of all time, the kids who are going to experience the most success, the students who are going to be the ultimate champions, the greatest of all time, are the ones that are not going to just wait for the storm to pass, but are actually going to learn to dance in the rain. Does that mean that you've learned to do the online learning really well? Does that mean that you've taken tours, even if they're digital, to these college campuses? Does that mean that you're going to get really good at math and science or whatever STEM activities might be available? Are you going to go and read some books? Are you going to practice or getting better with your character? Are you going to become a better friend? Are you going to write positive comments? Are you going to post positive quotes? What is your time going to be like this year? Or are you going to be like others who just say, I'm just waiting for the storm to pass? See, that's exactly where I want to be. I want you to have the best year you can possibly have in spite of this pandemic. I want you to think of this year like you're not just going to wait for the storm to pass. You're going to have your best year even if there's a pandemic right now. So it doesn't matter what's going on out in the world right now. You are going to have your best year. And so what I wanted to do is I brought this pen. And so this pen represents some stuff for us, but I'm going to get to that in a second. I want to tell you about when I was in ninth grade. When I was in ninth grade, I was so pumped. I was so excited. I was going to have the most amazing year. I was It was a summer day. I'll never forget this one day. It was a summer day. I'm running to the school. Every single day I'd run to the school. Me and my friends, we'd meet up at the school. We'd work out. We'd lift weights. And then we'd play basketball afterwards. Some of us would go into some extra tutoring that they had for us. But we were absolutely going to make sure that we were going to have the best summer. We were going into freshman year. We were going into that year like we were going to have ultimate success. And as I'm running, I'll never forget, my grandfather was in this restaurant right across the street from the high school. I just ran that 2 miles, so I have sweat coming down the side of my face. I go inside, and I'm expecting my grandfather to comfort me. I'm expecting my grandfather, because he always had money, and he'd give me money, or he'd always take me to go get ice cream, or just something small, something like a little tiny treat. But it's those like little special things that my grandfather would do. And then I walk in, and with the sweat coming down the side of my face, my grandfather tells me, "Mijo, son, your mom's going to go to jail, and she's going to go to jail for a long time." And I had been worried that day was going to come. I'd been worried for a long time. I sometimes at night when someone would knock, I was worried, is this the police coming to take my mom? Because my mom did some bad things. She wasn't committed to being the greatest of all time. She didn't have pride in the stuff. And her vision, she wasn't committed to it. And so my mom goes to jail, and I have to have a year where everything changed. Like I said, I was pumped to go to school. I was pumped to have this year. I was getting prepared to have an awesome year. And everything changed. My family got split up. I'm living with my grandfather, which means I have to work late at night, which means that instead of him retiring, he stays working. And it's a tough, labor-intensive job. My grandfather works in the field, so he has to sacrifice that way for me. I'm working with him as much as I can when I get out of football practice and basketball practice. And it's one of the toughest years of my entire life. But it also ended up being one of the best years of my entire life. See, I felt like everything was being taken away, and things were being so hard, and it actually felt like, just like this frying pan, like I had been crushed. The thing though is, like, even though it's really hard and very difficult, you can actually change the crushing of this pan. And so I'm gonna undo as much. And so even though, I'm still not there yet, but even though this pan is very difficult, it's made of some whatever metals, it's made for frying eggs, just like that picture. But right now I'm trying to unbend it because I want to make it different. And it's hard and it's difficult, but if I do it every single day, just like we talked about, just like all of National Gear Week, you're going to do something every single day to help prepare you, help you think better, help you have a celebration of National Gear Week, because they're helping you become college and career ready. They're celebrating your educational achievements. And so what I want you to do is think about your college and career success. I want you to think about how every single day you're going to get a little bit better. And so maybe this year you felt like you've been crushed. Maybe this year it feels like getting closer and getting closer. Maybe it feels like things aren't the way they're supposed to be, and this pan is crushed. It's not the way it's supposed to be, but I can make it work. I can still make it work. If I wanted to put a frying egg, I just need to fix it a little bit more. I just need to make it a little bit better, and I can slowly make it better until I have something that could be used. And so I know this year might look a little bit different, might feel a little different. It might not even perform exactly the same, but that does not mean that you won't get better better prepared for college. It does not mean that you will not be better prepared for your career. It does not mean that you will not be better prepared for your success. So what I want you to do is, this is the year that you're going to make that change, for positive change. You're not going to be like everybody else that decided that this is going to be the year that they're just going to wait for the rain to pass. They're going to wait for the pandemic to pass. And I'm not trying to say anything about the pandemic being light. I personally lost my grandmother. She died. She passed away from the pandemic. And so I'm not trying to take it any lightly, but because of that, I want to take advantage of all the time that I have. I want to take every minute. I want to take every hour. I want to take every single day. And I want to make every day a day where I get a little bit better. And so that's what I want you to do is I want you to think about all the ways that you can have the best year even in a pandemic. Does that mean being super or participating like crazy during this week of National Gear Up Week? Does that mean that you're going to go on the next tour, that you're going to sign up early for the next camp? You're going to sign up early for all the programming that they're going to have for you? What is it going to take for you to be the greatest of all time? What kind of pride are you going to show where you are going to attempt to be the greatest of all time? What kind of vision do you have for 2020? What kind of vision do you have for 2024? And so what I want you to do is I want to celebrate you. Again, they have amazing programs. I know they've already done so many great things with you guys. And so I want to celebrate National Gear Up Week with you all. I'm so honored to be a part of it. Again, and I want to give one of you guys $100. Again, college and career success. And so I'm just going to replay everything. What I want you to do is just so you can be eligible to win it. Sorry, this way. You're just going to go National Gear Up Week. You have to hashtag it. You have to follow my Instagram. Comment on any post. Next week, I'm going to go crazy talking about National Gear Up Week. So I'm going to be posting all the time. Pick any of them because if you do win, I'm going to DM you anyways, and you'll tell me what school you go to. And then I want you to tag ED Partnerships. That's the National Gear Up. That's their Instagram or an organization that supports all the Gear Up activities. And so I want you to tag them and then make sure to put hashtag National Gear Up Week, hashtag Gear Up Works. Remember, without a vision, the students lose. I'm going to say it again, without a vision, the students lose. So what I need you to do is I need you to write down your vision, write it down in the comments, write it down on a sheet of paper, but most importantly, I want you to write it down in your heart. Without a vision, the students lose. So I want you to write down that vision in your heart. I want you to believe, I want you to achieve, and I want you to succeed. And so does Miss Hundley, so does Principal Leach, so does Principal Booth, and Miss Anderson from the Gear Up office. We all want you to succeed. We believe in you. We know that you are a champion. And don't forget, it's game time.